Good morning, it's Saturday the 2nd of February. It's a lovely day, the sun is out, it's currently 10 degrees outside, which is 50 Fahrenheit, and inside the greenhouse it's 15 degrees, which is 60 Fahrenheit. So today I'm going to get some seeds away. So I shall just spin you around and show you what I'm planning on planting. I think there are plenty of seeds that you can sow in February, but I'm going to just concentrate on putting the hardiest in at the moment. So I've got some purple Vienna kohlrabi, American spinach, got two types of sprouts. I've got Groninger and Evesham Special, some calabrese. I'm going to put some carrots in. These are early Nance. I've got some lupin save seeds that I'm going to see if I can get going. Two different types of broad bean. I've got the Sutton, which is a dwarf, and Meteor. And I'm just going to put some more cauliflower in because the cauliflower is not doing particularly well where I've put it. So I've got Snowball, All Year Round, and Clapton F1. And apparently the Clapton F1 is club root resistant, which is why I chose it. So hopefully I'll have some success with that. Cabbage, I've got Greyhound and Killerton. Again, Killerton is a club root resistant brassica, so hopefully that'll work well for me. And I'm going to put in some Rudbeckia. So what I'm going to do now is just going to sieve the compost. I've brought all the seed trays through, so I'm going to get the compost sieved into them. I'm going to get seed sowing, and I've also got some pots because what I'm going to do when I get home later is I'm going to move over some of my chillies into pots. They're all starting to get their first set of true leaves, so I'm just going to pot them on into that. But I'm going to do that at home because the compost at home has been inside, so it's nice and warm. So I've got the first tray done. So I have put them in rows of 8. So I've got the purple Vienna, the Groninger, Evesham Special, and the Parthenon calabrese. I've done 2 rows of the calabrese because we do eat a lot of it in our house. So I'm just going to cover them over with a fine dusting of compost, water them, and then I'm going to get them put away inside the grow tent and see how they get on. What I'm going to be sowing the broad beans in, I bought some root trainers, and each month I give myself a small budget that I allocate to the allotment. So this month I bought myself 2 sets of root trainers. So you get the trainers that you fold together, you get the holder, and then a little lid to go on top. So I'm going to put the broad beans into those. I've also sowed 4 rows of early Nance carrot seeds. I'm just going to cover them over, and then I've got a polycarbonate lid that I'll put on until they've germinated. And I've had a little bit of a move around in the polytunnel. I've moved the onions into the polytunnel because they seem to be doing better than they were in the greenhouse. So I'll just get these covered over, and then we'll have a look in the polytunnel. I've moved all the onions into the polytunnel. The ones that were in here, the Elsa Craig, seem to be doing far better than any of the others. I think it was a little bit too damp inside that grow tent for them, so I'm just going to leave them in here. It's a little bit more ventilated and it catches the sun earlier on in the morning. So the Elsa Craig are doing fabulous, that are so direct, but the rest of them are looking pretty sorry for themselves. The Utah Giant aren't looking too bad, and the Bedfordshire Champion haven't really done much. I might sow some more over the weekend. But I was watching a video by a guy called Found the Plot. I'll put a link into his channel, and he trims his onions down just to keep them a little bit tidier and stop them falling over. So I think I'm gonna do that with mine now. Put the ones back in that are for some reason just coming out. So make sure they're all secured in and give them all a little bit of a haircut. So these are the early February seeds that I've sown. It's been a really productive morning down on the plot today. I've just locked myself away in the greenhouse and got all my seeds sown. I'm going to take home the lupin and the Rudbeckia because they germinate at home because they need a slightly higher temperature, but the broad beans and everything else I'm just going to leave down here. And I've also updated my journal. It's pretty simple really. I just record what I've sown, when, and then make any notes on germination and as they progress. So I'm going to pop home now, have some lunch, and then I'm going to pot on the chillies. Hopefully I'll be able to find my tripod and film that. I've just mixed up in a tub. I've put in some garden lime, some chicken manure pellets and some blood fish and bone, and I'm going to be adding that to the compost that I use to pot up the chillies. I think last year I had a little bit of a problem where there wasn't enough nutrients and it really stunted the growth of the chillies, and they never really recovered. I mean, it wasn't a very good year for chillies anyway, I don't think, but it certainly didn't help. So I'm not going to use all of that. I'm just going to mix some in with the compost when I pot them up. I might sort of I've got a pestle and mortar, so I'll grind it down a little bit to a fine paste and then mix it in when I pot on the chillies. Right, I'm back at home now, and as you can see, chillies are really doing well. A lot of them have got their true leaves on. Some are only just starting to come through, but what I want to do is I want to try and get them potted on so I can use the containers for the Super 7 to sow my tomatoes in a few weeks. Also, the flowers are coming along wonderfully, and so is the aubergine. I've got these purple grow lights that I've had these under, and they really are coming along strong. Unfortunately, the rest of the lights are just the fluorescent tubes. Hopefully I'll upgrade them one day, but for now they're doing the job. So I'm just going to get all the labels printed out, fill up the pots, and I'll show you how I transplant them. Right, so I've filled up the 4 pots. I'm just going to take 4 of these plants. So I'm going to take the best 4. I'm going to leave these 2 in to grow on. Nothing's come through on the cayenne, but I'm not too worried. I'm going to have more than enough chillies for this year anyway. So I'm just going to make a small hole in the compost. Hopefully, we'll start with this one. This should come out okay. If I can, I want to take the whole block out in one. So there we go, we've got that all in one. Just make the hole a little bit bigger. Get my thumb in. And we try and drop it in a little bit deeper than it's currently planted. There we go, that's the first one done. I should be quite happy in there. I'm just going to pop it in this water bath for a little while, get the next one done. Hopefully this one will come out just as well. Reasonable hole. Let's take this one this time. There we go, we can see the roots are coming through, so it's perfect time. A little bit deeper, pop it in. And there we go, it's as simple as that. I'm just going to repeat that for the rest of them, and then I'll show you what it looks like when we've finished. It's roughly an hour and a half later, and I think I've got everything potted up as best I can. The chocolate habanero still aren't ready to be moved yet, and for some reason there's 2 in each cell, so I'm going to separate them out. These are all the extras. I've got 1 of each, and I've just put them into the little green tubs and into a plastic container so I can water them. I managed to get 16 salvia plants from the tray, so hopefully they'll all survive. And then that's this year's chillies. going to nurse them through. What I've done is I've buried them as deep as I can within the pots because it doesn't affect the roots and it makes for a stockier, more sturdy plant. So I've just got to leave these growing on now for a few more weeks. Move them up to the next size pot. So that's the end of this week's video. Hope you all enjoyed it, and I look forward to seeing you again next week. Thank you very much, and goodbye.